Number 5 is history. A lot of brands advertise history. Most brands don't have any meaningful history. To my knowledge, the only brands that have unbroken chain of ownership: Seiko, Citizen, Rolex, and Patek Philippe. Just about every other company has had a bankruptcy or some sort of financial situation where third parties had to get involved and take over at least partial ownership. So if you look at something like this Darth Tuna, I find it really reassuring that this has a direct link to the original 6159 tuna back in the 70s, and that this watch was made by the same company that was still part of the same ownership and the same family. That lineage means a lot to me. I understand it may not mean a lot to everyone, though at the end of the day, if you look at ads in the watch world, so many companies are claiming history, which oftentimes they don't have. And even if you think of a company like Omega, I mean, the Omega of the 60s and 70s has almost nothing in common with the Omega of today as far as their innovations and everything else. That's just the way it is. And it's another element where I think people should try to do their homework and not listen to just the company themselves, but actually do their homework and find out what the true history of the company is. I mean, you can't necessarily hold it against the company if they went bankrupt and someone else bought the rights to everything, but it always struck me as being a bit dishonest when you make claims and linkages to things you never had, especially companies that you put in some date from the 1800s or 1900s or even maybe 1700s, where the reality is there is no link. It's just words, and companies like Blancpain, which I hope I pronounced that right, which in their original form were never even a luxury watch company, was never even a high-end watch company, and it's been reinvented as one. And it has all of this history that they're always putting out, but it's not really true. And if you happen to know all of that and you go in with your eyes open because you like the aesthetics or whatever the case is, that's fine. But I fear there are a lot of people who are buying into histories that aren't really there. And if they ever find out the truth, they're not going to be too happy. So the take-home point of everything is do your homework and remember that the companies themselves and the watch-related media is very biased in the information they release. So try to use the internet and talk to people who have more experience and get an idea of what you're really buying into. Because a lot of times you have to make mistakes if you're getting into collecting watches. You're going to make mistakes. I made tons of mistakes. Everyone makes tons of mistakes. But it's important to learn from those mistakes and learn from other people's mistakes and really try to know what you're doing as best as possible. Because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this industry. And as a collector, you really want to try to blow that away as much as you can to enjoy collecting to its fullest. Anyway, that's the end of this video. And as usual, thanks for watching.